Barbershop is a 2002 American comedy flick helmed by Tim Story and penned by Mark Brown, Don Scott, and Marshall Todd. Steering the production were George Tillman, Robert Teetle, and Brown, who also crafted the screenplay. The stellar cast included talents like Ice Cube, Anthony Anderson, Sean Patrick Thomas, Eve Torrey Garrity, and numerous others. The storyline unfolds within the social hubbub of a barbershop on Chicago's South Side, marking the inaugural chapter in the Barbershop series. Garnering acclaim from critics, the film received applause for the cast's stellar performances. Boasting significant commercial success, it paved the way for 2 sequels. This cinematic gem featured an ensemble of actors, and in this video, we'll spotlight some cast members who have left us. Explore such content on our channel, and be sure to show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more. Cliff Frasier. Cliff Frasier portrayed Customer Kwame in the movie. Born on November 23, 1952, in St. Louis, Missouri, Frasier later relocated to Baldwin, Missouri for high school. After establishing himself as a defensive prep football standout, he went on to play nose tackle at Fort Scott Community College. Recognized for his exceptional performance, Frasier earned acclaim as a junior college All-American defensive lineman in 1972 and 1973. Subsequently recruited by UCLA coach Dick Vermeil, Frasier played as a defensive nose guard for the Bruins during the 1974-75 college seasons. In 1975, he received first-team defense honors for the All-Pacific 8 and NCAA All-American teams. Frasier was a tri-captain of UCLA's Rose Bowl team in the 1975 college season. In a historic victory on January 1, 1976, the underdog Bruins, 8-1, triumphed over the previously unbeaten and top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, 11-0. Despite facing the formidable Ohio State team, Frasier, along with defensive teammates Manu Tuiasosopo and Dale Curry, effectively contained their offense. Frasier's stellar performance included leading all defensive players with 13 solo tackles and 1 assist. Teammates at UCLA included future NFL players Randy Cross, Wendell Tyler, and Theodis Brown. Drafted as the 41st overall pick in the second round by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 1976 NFL Draft, Frasier played all 14 games for the Chiefs in 1977. After Dick Vermeil assumed the role of head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, Vermeil orchestrated a deal to secure Frasier from Kansas City in exchange for the Eagles' 5th-round draft pick in the 1978 NFL Draft. Nevertheless, Frasier failed to secure a spot on the Eagles roster, prompting his return to Southern California to embark on an acting career. Shortly afterward, Frasier marked his debut on screen as Monroe, one of the linemen in the football classic North Dallas 40. Fort Scott Community College honored Frasier with induction into its Athletic Hall of Fame in 1990. On June 9, 2006, Frasier actively participated in UCLA's Flashback Camp, where over 100 former UCLA players and coaches, many associated with the 1976 Rose Bowl team, imparted their football expertise to UCLA Bruin fans. Carl Wright. Carl Wright assumes the character of Checkers Fred in the film. Mr. Wright, 75, passed away from cancer on Friday, May 18th, at his residence on the far South Side, as reported by his wife. Born in 1932 in Orlando, he was one of 9 siblings. Although Mr. Wright attended college in Atlanta, his true passions were dancing, singing, and cracking jokes. Before long, he began touring the country, according to his wife. In the early 1950s, Mr. Wright arrived in Chicago and started working at various South Side clubs. He commenced with solo dancing and later incorporated comedy, mentioned his wife. Then he met a man named Frank James who had one leg. They teamed up and dubbed themselves the Three-Leggers. James and Mr. Wright collaborated for several years, presenting a dance and comedy routine. They even took their act on the road, traveling as far as Canada for performances, as recounted by his wife. The Club de Lisa, a renowned nightclub once situated at State Street and Garfield Boulevard, was where Mr. Wright, engaged in a performance, encountered his future wife, a chorus line dancer. They remained married for 53 years. Shortly after their wedding, Mr. Wright entered the Army for a 2-year stint, stationed in New Jersey. Even during his military service, he continued to showcase his talents, winning an all-Army talent show. Upon his discharge, Mr. Wright returned to Chicago, venturing into solo performances as he couldn't reconnect with his former partner, noted his wife. He sustained a steady career, emceeing events and engaging in stand-up comedy. In 1987, he teamed up with his friend Span to co-host the local cable TV show Blues and More. Over the years, Span shared that he and Mr. Wright conducted interviews with celebrities like B.B. King, Jamie Foxx, and Bernie Mac. The dynamic was straightforward. Span played the straight man, managing the records, while Mr. Wright portrayed one of his beloved characters, Right Rev. Wright. A decade later, the producers of Soul Food spotted Mr. Wright on the program. They noticed him there and they invited him to audition, his wife recalled. When he did, he landed the part. He took on the role of Reverend Williams, Norm Van Leer. Norm Van Leer took on the role of Customer Sam in the film. Norm Van Leer, a beloved figure in the history of the Chicago Bulls and one of the standout defensive players in the NBA during the 1970s, was discovered deceased in his residence just a few blocks from the Bulls arena on February 26, 2009, according to authorities. He was 61. The exact cause of death was not immediately determined. Van Leer, who had recently been working as a broadcaster for Comcast Sportsnet Chicago, had been slated to serve as a pre- and post-game analyst for the Bulls game against the New Jersey Nets on Wednesday night. Concerns arose at Comcast when Van Leer failed to show up for work on Thursday and could not be reached. An employee was dispatched to his apartment near the United Center on the city's near west side, but attempts to gain access were unsuccessful, as reported by Jim Corno, president of CSN Chicago. Van Leer embarked on his NBA career with Cincinnati in 1969 and later spent over 6 seasons with the Chicago Bulls before concluding his playing career with Milwaukee in 1979. A 3-time All-Star, Van Leer contributed to 5 playoff teams. However, it was his time with the Bulls that left the most enduring imprint on his legacy. From 1980 to 1982, Van Leer served as a color analyst on Bulls radio broadcasts. In 1989, he assumed the role of assistant coach for the Worcester Counts in the World Basketball League. His contributions extended to television, where he worked as a pre-game and post-game analyst for Chicago Bulls games from 1992 to 2009. Beyond basketball, he made appearances on various Chicago television programs to discuss the Bulls and co-hosted a sports talk radio show at one point. Van Leer even ventured into the realm of music, serving as a special disc jockey on the Chicago rock music station 97.9 WLUP. Additionally, he took on supporting roles in the films Barbershop 2002 and Barbershop 2, Back in Business 2004. In 1989, Van Leer served as the associate coach of the Worcester Counts in the Global Basketball League. Van Leer took on the role of head basketball coach for the Worcester Vocational Technical High School team for a portion of the 1989-90 season. His squad advanced to the Massachusetts Division II championship match. On June 21, 2008, Van Leer was honored with induction into the WPIAL Hall of Fame. Western Pennsylvania is renowned for football, but the years I experienced are hailed as the prime era of basketball, not just in the state but possibly the entire country, Van Leer expressed on that evening. Uniontown, Midland, Shenley, and Ambridge could compete with any team at any time and in any era across the nation. Sonia Eddie. Sonia Eddie portrayed Janelle in the film. Sonia Eddie, originally from Concord, California, graduated from UC Davis. While immersed in her studies, she initiated her acting journey in the West Coast premiere of Zora Is My Name, penned by the acclaimed actress Ruby Dee. Sonia took on various roles in Zora, including Big Sweet, a vivacious blues singer, a personal favorite of Ruby Dee. She further extended her repertoire by playing the courtesan in Comedy of Errors and participating in productions of The Crucible, Pericles, and embodying the witch in Into the Woods. Ms. Eddie earned an Artie Award for her compelling portrayal of Bloody Mary in South Pacific. Sonia's professional acting career in Los Angeles spans over a decade. Her credits include recurring roles in ER, Joan of Arcadia, Seinfeld, The Drew Carey Show, and more. Featured in the Hallmark movie of the week The Reading Room, alongside James Earl Jones, Ms. Eddie was also a regular on Martin Short's Primetime Glick. She professionally appeared in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof with John Goodman and Brenda Fricker at the Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles. Recently, Ms. Eddie is recognized for her recurring character on General Hospital as Epiphany Johnson, a straightforward head nurse. She also brings Epiphany to SoapNet's inaugural serialized drama for primetime, General Hospital Night Shift, premiering in July 2007. Miss Eddie makes a guest appearance on CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Sonia's numerous guest spots in other primetime shows include In Case of Emergency, Everybody Hates Chris, Daybreak, Malcolm in the Middle, and Reba, among others. Her guest star performances encompass Strong Medicine, Still Standing, and The Hugleys. Beyond her career triumphs, Ms. Eddie recently achieved the distinction of being cast twice on ER. Her work is also featured in over a dozen national commercials annually. Noteworthy are her versatile talents as an all-around performer, evident in her recent roles in feature films such as Coach Carter, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Bad News Bears with Billy Bob Thornton, Barbershop, Daddy Daycare, Matchstick Men, and Surviving Christmas. Sonia recently completed filming Year of the Dog with Molly Shannon and Peter Sarsgaard. Among Sonia's various skills, she excels as an accomplished improv-sketch artist, vocalist, ranging from second soprano to first tenor, and voice-over artist. Looking back at our videos, we see a tapestry woven with your laughter, insights, and shared experiences. Each view was a connection made, and every comment was a conversation started. We've learned, grown, and laughed together, and it's been an incredible privilege to be part of this community. As we close this chapter, know that our journey doesn't end here. We're already brewing new ideas, exciting content, and fresh collaborations to bring more joy and knowledge into your lives. We invite you to stay tuned for what's coming next. Before we say our goodbyes, let's take a moment to appreciate the bonds we've formed, the lessons we've learned, and the fun we've had. To our loyal subscribers, thank you for being the backbone of this channel. To new viewers, we welcome you to join our community.